We're back, people.
What's up,
Episode
guys?
6. Fucking A's, we're back.
I chugged some caffeine on the way here, jamming out in my slingshot, and I'm caffeined up. Whew.
I made a bulletproof for us with some fresh organic beans, a tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of coconut oil, and some cacao nibs. So we're fucking fired up for our podcast, and then we got wrestling after this. But what I was thinking for a while until we get some more fan input and stuff, I'm just gonna take stuff from the week that I've read or seen that I think would be good topics, and then we'll go over them. A lot of people on this last one were asking about some of our weight cuts and more. A lot of people ask about food and stuff, and we have no problem going off about food. So let's hear some of your stories, Sean, of some of your bad weight cuts and how that has gone with fight week food and everything.
Yeah, I haven't really had any bad weight cuts. The only one I can really think of is when we cut to 125. So that was my first official fight at 125. That was my fourth professional fight, and that was in Helena, my hometown. Um, and that was like the first time I went through I literally felt like I was close to dying.
And you might have been close to dying, dude. I've never seen someone from your back. I could see the full, complete outline of every single ribs, and you're just laying there, fucking lost the little muscle that you have, and just sitting there, bones and skin. I was like, Jesus.
I remember we were cutting weight at Cap City in the hot tub, and I remember I must have passed out because I remember kind of like waking up, laying next to the hot tub, and I went and checked my weight. And I think I had like 1 pound left, and I was like. It was weird. I had a good mindset though. I was like, all right, let's just get.
Yeah, you had a tough mindset. You've been around a couple people that were being bitches about their weight cut, just whining and throwing themselves around. Like, if you got the energy to whine and throw yourself around, then you got the energy to cut a few more pounds.
Yeah, and I didn't even have the energy to whine. I was like, all right, whatever. But and then like the cut sucked. So I made 125 pounds, and my kid ended up coming in at 132. So, but anyway, I remember because we were eating pretty healthy, but not like we always continue to eat healthier, and learn more and more. But at the time, we were eating the best we had been eating, and we just overdid it on the post weigh-in meal. We had way too much. I think it was turkey spaghetti or something.
Yeah, it was the spaghetti. Well, the plan was to not eat it because we wanted to at least drink water. Like, I went through a bunch of different weight cuts with different nutritionists, and you're supposed to at least wait an hour and a half before you put any solids in your mouth. But like Sean, we made some quinoa pasta with some turkey and then some sauce, and Sean ate a little bit of it, and he just couldn't fucking stop. Started eating it, and then especially that sauce and like the acidity in it just made you throw up quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I was puking that night, and then I don't think I puked the day of the fight, but I remember I was holding back puke the whole entire warm up, walking to the cage, and literally swallowing puke the whole fight. Every time I couldn't throw more than one punch at a time. Every time we wrestled, I was like just trying not to puke. And that kid I fought was tough. Like, it was a tough fight, tough weight cut. It was good though. I grew a lot from that fight. Going into my next fight, I'm like, damn, I'm a tough motherfucker. Like, I know I can push. I know I'm mentally strong, and that was huge for my career.
Dude, it's such a fucking huge thing for a fighter once they go 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, that was the first time going 15 minutes too, 3 5s.
So you had that fucking terrible knot in your stomach, wanting to throw up the whole time. Like, we had a good cut to 125. We did it right. We just didn't feel right. But that was that fucking gave you a big boost in confidence, being able to push through 15 minutes, feeling like shit, having a tough kid who's making you wrestle. That was definitely a big hurdle. But other than that, after that fight, we're like, well, fuck. You're almost 6 foot tall. You got a long build. You're super young. Like, we both were kind of like, well, let's just eat good, be strong, feel good, and fight at 135. Then you can enjoy your life. Mm-hmm. The whole focus on fighting doesn't have to be revolved around your diet.
And like, going into all of my fights, I was always the weaker fighter, and I always knew that. Like, I wasn't gonna outstrength anybody. Like, I didn't even think that going into a fight that I was gonna be able to muscle any position. Like, I knew I was gonna, and I think that's why I got good at jiu-jitsu, because I had to get technical instead of just spaz out. But being the spaz on the ground, sometimes it did work for me because, for whatever reason. But I had to get more technical, and And now at this point in my career, like I'm going to this next fight against El Teco, and like I don't feel like he's gonna be stronger than me. I feel like I'm gonna be the stronger fighter. So this is it's good. I'm pumped.
Yeah, within the last 3 years, like you come down to the lab and you haven't wrestled before, and then you feel a wrestler grab you and use their hips and get on top of you and be their whole full body strength. You're like, holy fuck! But now you're figuring it out. Now you're learning how to wrestle. You're getting good at jujitsu now. So now you're gonna be the one imposing the will, and your jujitsu is so like live off your back. It's gonna be a fucking major problem for everyone, especially in a year or two. Even now, I will not be surprised at all if you fucking hang El Taco with a guillotine or a Darce choke.
I know he's gonna be wrestling, trying to put me up against the fence. Usually the Mexicans they don't come stand and bang, but I think he's gonna be the first to come and try to shoot. He's gonna be trying to put me up against the fence, take me down. He's got jiu-jitsu tattooed across his chest, so once I choke him out, he's gonna have to get that covered up or something. Cause no one expects me to go in there and choke someone.
No.
So if he gets choked out by me and he has jiu-jitsu tattooed across his chest, ooh, I've been hurting people's careers bad. Like Alfred. Like, I don't know if he's fought again. Andre, he looked what happened after his fight. Like, he got some bad backlash. I think Terry, I think he stayed mentally strong. And then this kid, I'm gonna go out there and end his career too. I feel like he's gonna fight this last fight, and he's gonna get beat up bad and not want to fight again.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I had a couple fucking bad weight cuts too, because I had no one showing me the way. So I was just kind of figuring it out on my own and just literally just starving myself. Like, I was fighting at the Playboy Mansion when I was. What's up, Joe?
For some reason we stopped again.
Okay.
You can just keep on that,
Okay.
just in case.
Because then we don't have to start a new recording.
Yeah. So this on the YouTube, this one will be. We're having a little technical difficulties on Lipton. I don't think they're hearing any of this. So. But that's okay.
How far back did it stop?
Just like a second or two.
Okay.
Do you want me to play it really quick or just start it
Oh, we
up?
can start it up.
Okay. All right.
Are we back? Okay, we're back. Yeah, we were just talking about weight cuts and stuff, and I was just going to give a little story about mine. Like, 21 years old, fighting at the Playboy Mansion for a Friday night weigh-in, Saturday night fight, and I flew to LA by myself in the hotel room, and I had no idea what to do. I knew I had to cut 15 pounds to make the weight limit. So I stopped drinking and I stopped eating from Wednesday morning and tried to just not eat or drink. And I had half a banana, I think, Thursday night and tried to get there. And, like, I got to the point, I was in the sauna and I was like, fuck it. There's no fucking way I'm making weight. I don't give a fuck if I have to give this kid half my purse. I'm not cutting another pound, and then ended up getting on the scale and making weight. Couple times driving to Seattle, like just figuring it out on the way. That's why I think I've acquired a lot of knowledge about diets, because I've got to learn from so many different fighters and their diets and their nutritionists. So I've picked things from all those people and just kind of made what's best. And every single person's different with their diets and weight cuts. So you got to like adapt to whoever it is.
And that's a huge benefit I feel like I have going into a fight with all that knowledge Tim learned from all the bad weight cuts and all the knowledge he's learned from wanting to learn about weight cuts, passing it down to me, helping me with all my weight cuts. I don't like both my UFC fights were just easy. They were perfect weight cuts. I refueled good, got the weight off good, and everything was just perfect. So I think that's a huge benefit for me going into my fight. And like I look at my opponents like after they done weighing in. UFC gives us these goodie bags with like goldfish and just chocolate milk, just some shit in it, and I see my opponents eating that, and I'm just thinking, I'm gonna fuck you up even more now. They're eating this shit. Like,
For sure.
it just, I don't know, it's crazy to me.
For sure, you see someone like depriving themselves of all this food and then just putting all this fake fuel back in their body that's not going to digest in 24 hours. It's going to be sitting in your stomach. So especially we see people like that, we're definitely going to come out and stick them in the body and rip them to the body and let that fuel fuck with them. A lot of people ask too, like, what are we eating before practice and how long before practice and what supplements do we use? Like, go ahead.
Yeah. Usually in the morning, I've been doing just a shake before my first practice. And my body doesn't have to work on really digesting. It's already all blended up, ready to. It's good nutrients that I feel like if I eat too much before, like some bread and carbs and stuff, my body has to work on breaking it down. But these shakes I've been doing, I think we got that idea from Own the Day book by Aubrey Marcus. He was talking about making shakes for breakfast, and if you're gonna go out and work out, and I've been doing that lately, and then going home and then eating my bread and my eggs and my turkey bacon. And I've been liking that a lot.
Yeah. I've been playing with the times of my food. I keep the food pretty same. I either have a oat bowl, with a oat bran it's called, and I have some almond milk. There's a video on my YouTube page of me making that oat bran bowl, or I have like the Ezekiel toast, the eggs, apple, and avocado, all stuff that my stomach's used to and I'm used to digesting. But I try to eat at least 90 minutes before practice, if not 2 hours. If I'm gonna have a hard practice, I'll eat 2 hours before and I'll up it a little bit, so that way I'm all digested. And then when I go into practice, all the blood's not flowing to my stomach trying to digest that food. All the blood's flowing to my muscles and my brain, where I can use that the whole time. But try different foods. It's easier when it's whole foods. I'm telling you, when it's processed foods, your stomach doesn't know what to do with it, and then it sits in there. Then you won't have the best practices. And then watch how those foods, how you feel after. Do you feel bloated? Do you feel like do you feel like you have gas? If you're eating something and you have gas right away, right after, it's not a good sign. It means it's probably not good for you.
And it's different for everyone. It might not be good for you, but it could be good for someone else.
Yeah, for sure. And in general, the less you eat processed food, the better. Like the processed food, it's easy to overeat that processed food. It's made for you to want to overeat and just binge on it. You can't sit there and eat a good, healthy vegetables or food and just eat it and eat it and shove your face. But grab a bag of potato chips, you can just shove your fucking face, the whole bag, and just feel terrible. So just like, try not to eat a ton of processed foods. I know it's hard, but try not to.
I get a lot of questions asked like about the munchies, like how do you just not do that? And honestly, it was hard for a long time, and now I'm to the point where I just can't eat shitty food. Like I don't crave it, I don't want it. When I get the munchies, there you go to Sprouts and you can find healthy stuff. I've been eating these coconut macaroons. I've been only eating like they're little, but I've been eating one of them. I mean, they still have a lot of sugar in them, but you can find good, healthy things to snack on. And you just got to work on mental toughness and discipline and know that, okay, I'm going to get high tonight. I'm going to get the munchies and I'm not going to snack. But it's weird because those, it's easy to say that when you're high and then you get high and it's like, oh shit. But you just got to do it. You just got to be mentally strong. And that's a perfect time to practice mental toughness. Like, I'm not going to. And it sounds silly if you've never smoked and got the munchies because it's like, just don't do it. But you get the munchies and you convince yourself, one won't hurt,
Yeah.
two won't hurt. But it's just something you got to do, and it's a perfect time to practice mental toughness and discipline.
Yeah. And it's just like, literally, it's just the mouth pleasure. That's all it is. That bad food is literally just mouth pleasure. It's bad for your body and it's mouth pleasure. But I have the same problem, but it's not as bad anymore. Like, once I get rid of those blood sugar spikes, eating something shitty spikes your blood sugar. And then you come down from that and you're starving again. You're craving something shitty, so it spikes your blood sugar again. But if you can eat clean for at least 2 to 3 days, it'll level out your blood sugar. You can drink some apple cider vinegar at night. That'll help level out your blood sugar. And then you won't have those terrible, shitty cravings.
But if you do, Tim is coming out with, I think he's almost done inventing it. The bag where you hook it to the back of your neck, and you just hook this bag to the back of the neck. He doesn't have the details yet, but he's hooking this bag. He's gonna cut a hole in the back of his neck, eat it, so the food just comes out the back of the neck, the mouth pleasure, and not the stomach.
Yeah.
He's almost done inventing that.
Still working on it.
It's been like 4 years. He's been working on it.
Working on the
So it should be out
logistics
soon.
still. Another thing too, like, everyone thinks like when you're 35 or 45 or 55 that your life's pretty much done. But now in this day and age, the way things are going, the way like people are figuring out about their health, when you're 35, 45, 55, you're not going to be like your parents if you're treating your body right. You're not going to be like old and broken down. If you treat your body right, 35, 45, still young. You can do anything you want.
Still got 40 years.
Especially if you're 25 years old and you're like, God, I'm not doing what I want. Or even 35 years old, I'm not doing what I want. Like, you can master something in 10 years. Pick something you actually fucking like, and you can master that thing in 10 years if you do it 3-4 times a week, for sure. Yeah.
I'm jacked about this fight coming up. Like, now that I'm in fight camp mode, like we're in fight camp. It's the whole mindset's different. I have a goal. We have a date now, October 6th. We are fighting, and I have my whole mindset's just I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to train. I'm ready to get in shape, and it's weird how your mindset goes from in camp to not in camp. Like, I'm ready to rock. I'm so jacked for this fight. I say this every fight, but I've never been this excited about a fight. I've never been this excited to go out there and perform for you guys. And it's on Conor Khabib card, the biggest card in the world. Like, that's probably what it's going to end up being, the biggest fight in the history. And there's going to be a lot of eyes, and I just can't wait to go out there and perform for you guys. I'm excited. The Irish crowd at weigh-ins, that's like something I'm so jacked for. And fight week, all the media obligations, all the meet and greets, all the meeting the fans, doing all the autograph signing stuff. I'm so excited for that. But like, one of the biggest things is I'm excited to see weigh-ins for all the Irish fans out there. It's going to be so sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking a good time to remember.
I plan on not just stealing the show for the fight. I plan on stealing the whole event, like the fight week, the media, the outfits, just everything about fighting. And I'm planning on going out there and stealing the whole show.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, they give us an open workout slot this time. We don't have to make up our own.
We'll see. I
If
don't
not,
even know who the co-main event is. Who is it?
The big Derek Lewis.
Oh, he's a co-main.
Yeah, it's a stupid fight, honestly.
Derek versus who?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
But I like opening up the main card. I think that's going to be a good spot because I'm going to be able to go out. I'm going to be able to shower up and then go out there and watch Conor Khabib.
There's gonna be a lot of eyes. One thing you said earlier, like a perfect time to like practice your mental toughness. Like almost, I was thinking about it this way. I was all high last night or a couple nights ago, and almost any time you're in an uncomfortable situation, any fucking time, no matter what you're doing, is a good time to practice your mental toughness.
Absolutely.
Like I was running without AC for the longest time, like hot as fuck driving around, and like kind of wanting to get pissed off. And I'm like, dude, it's just more me just literally trying to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, so anytime you get in a bad spot or an uncomfortable spot that's pissing you off, don't let it take over your emotions, but just fucking work on that mental toughness muscle. It's a muscle just like anything else.
And it's easy to say that, but you're going to get mad. You're going to get worked up. But that's when you just try to come back to your breath. And like, that's a perfect time to work on coming back down to zero, just being not angry. Sometimes it's hard. Even if you're just conscious of it and you're still upset, like next time it's going to get a little easier. Next time it's going to get a little easier. Maybe next time it's not. That's how meditation's been. Sometimes I'm doing good, and then there's days like I meditate and I'm just like, my mind is just running crazy. But I practiced. I still was there. I still practiced it. I still got a little bit better.
I like what that Don DePonte says too. He's like, you don't just meditate 10 minutes in the morning and then go on with your day and your mind's just uncontrollable. Like, almost everything you do, you could sit there and concentrate on just doing that. Like, how many times are you driving around, or how many times you eating a meal, eating some food, thinking about the food, just eating it one bite at a time? No, your mind's thinking somewhere else. You're looking on Instagram. You're thinking about something in the past. You're thinking about something in the future. Like, I've been trying to practice on that. Like, whatever I do, if Mariah comes home, I'm trying to talk to her and be there, all there with her, not letting my anxious thoughts take over and go wander somewhere else. But that's something I'm trying to work on, like, continuously.
And that's concentration. Like, that's Dan DePonte, or I can never say, is that his name? Dan DePonte?
Yeah.
Dan Dabney. He does this thing on YouTube. I think we talked about it last time. Just YouTube Dan DePonte concentration. He talks about learning how to concentrate. And I know we talked about that last podcast, but it's so good. I've literally listened to that like 3 times. Showed my mom and dad it, and my dad said he listened to the podcast, the last podcast, talking about concentration. He was sitting on the plane in between 2 people, and he had nothing to do. And he said, "I'm gonna close my eyes and just try to concentrate, just on a blue room, just a blue room." And he said couldn't even do it for 10 seconds. And that's just everyone. Really, it's just hard that we're not taught how to concentrate, and we need to learn how to. And I think meditation is the best way to do that.
Yeah, especially like when you have YouTube, you have a smart TV, you have your computer, you have your phone, you have all this like stimulation always going crazy. And then when you sit with yourself for a second, you're like, oh, what the fuck? I need to find something to do, or I need to like do something. Reading this, The 4 Purposes of Life by Dan Millman, this book, and this was a really good part. So this is it. The challenge of attending to the present. The challenge of attending to this arising moment can be demonstrated with a single question. How often do you consciously eat a meal? Consider the question carefully. When was the last time you only ate? Not ate while reading or watching television or listening to the radio or talking or checking your phone or computer, but the last time you sat and ate, only ate, seeing the food, smelling, tasting, and savoring it, aware you were chewing and swallowing. When was the last time that eating was enough to engage your full attention? This task is probably no easier for me than it may be for you. Much of the times, we humans are bored with the present, so the prime difficulty of learning to live and attend to the present moment is that we don't really want to. It doesn't seem enough for us because we're not really paying attention. Isn't it fascinating that we can immerse ourselves in a video game or a movie for hours, yet we can hardly pay attention to a dinner for more than a few seconds? Our restless minds flit about from past to future, remembering, judging, regretting, replaying, anticipating, planning, expecting, and none of that has anything to do with this moment. As author Alan Watts wrote, the power of memories and expectations is such that for most human beings, the past and the future are more real than the present. One night in the gymnasium, after Socrates watched me fly from the bar, perform a difficult aerial maneuver, and stick my landing, I raised my fist in elation and declared my workout over. I pulled off my sweatshirt and stuffed it into my workout bag, and we left the gym. As we headed down the hallway, he said, "You know, Dan, that last move you did was pretty sloppy." He said, "What are you talking about?" I asked. "That was the best dismount I've done in a long time." "I'm not talking about the dismount," he responded. "I'm talking about the way you took off your sweatshirt and stuffed it in your bag." I realized I had treated one moment doing gymnastics as special and another moment as ordinary. Socrates reminded me once again that there are no ordinary moments. This realization, this challenge lies at the very crux of our life and will determine the quality of our every moment. Will you learn to love the present moment? Can you develop the capacity to show each arising moment the same attention that you might give to cherished friend or lover, or at least to an online game? Will you wake up to inestimable value of each passing moment as it slips, like a grain of sand through the hourglass of your remaining time here? To the extent that you pay attention to the moment, you will have fulfilled the promise of the fourth purpose of life. If you guys get a chance, check this book out. The Four Purposes of Life by Dan Millman. It's fucking good. Like, it's an easy, simple read too, and each page just has some gems in it.
And you guys are like, even still, like me trying to be in the present moment, I still have trouble with it every single day. And like, you're not gonna just do it and be good at it. It's something you work on literally till forever. Like, you think about like Eckhart Tolle. You know, I'm sure he's really good at it, but I'm sure he still has troubles too.
Yeah.
It's something like you can't just get discouraged and be like, I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna search around. Like, I have those thoughts too. I'm like, God, it's so hard, but you just keep practicing and you get better and it gets a little bit easier. Then you have times where it's not super easy and it's just you just gotta keep practicing. Just like with anything. Just like with the fighting career, it's like it's not always easy. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's hard, but you keep moving on and you get to where eventually you wanna go.
Yeah. And that's where lucky, like, MMA or jiu-jitsu or even sports, like, help you kind of live in the moment. You don't even know it. Like a receiver running up to catch a football in the air, like, they're not thinking about like dinner that night, or they're not thinking about something happened in the past. They're right in the moment staring at that ball. And like jiu-jitsu and MMA and stuff, you have to be in the moment, especially in jiu-jitsu. Like at Taquinos, when we started doing 10-minute rounds, like I always had a problem getting tired, or just not really. I think everyone has a problem getting tired. Once there was those 10-minute rounds, I was like, fuck, I cannot think about the time. If I look about the time, I look up, there's 6 minutes left. Get my ass beat. Look up, there's 4 minutes left. Just keep going. So it made me focus, and then once I stay in the moment in those rounds, like those rounds fly by. Another quote in that book that I thought was so good, it says, "Wisdom, the definition of wisdom is valuing the things you have while you have them, like health, relationships, pets, and time." Like everyone's always looking around like, oh, I don't have this, or comparing themselves on Instagram and doing all this, but like, if you lost your girlfriend or you lost your husband or if you lost like one of your pets, you'd be sad as fuck and not enjoying it. Like, I like that. Valuing the things you have while you have them. That's what wisdom is.
That's good.
Oh yeah, we got to do our book giveaway. Oh, one more quote that's in that book. It said, "Inspiration and motivation comes and goes. Turning what we know into what we do. That's what matters." Like you're gonna be. Oh man, I get a lot of messages like, "Oh, you guys motivated me and you guys inspired me," which is good, but like just like Robert Falls would say, it's consistency over time equals results. Like if you want to get good at something or do something, you have to be consistent with it. It's easy when you're motivated and all pumped up to do it, but you wake up in the morning and you're like fucking tired because you ate like shit the night before or whatever. Like you got to do whatever you want to get good at when you don't feel like doing it.
It's good.
if you really want to get good. Yeah, the book giveaway. I have a list of the people we're gonna do. How should we do it, Sean? This is the list right here. Should we just scroll our eyes up and down?
Let me see
and
it.
just
Let me see
pick it?
Is it in your?
It's in my gallery.
That's it, right there.
Yeah. How many should we do?
We can do. Let's do 2 for now, and then we can do another couple. Which books are we gonna do? Ego is the Enemy.
So the first one we'll pick right now.
Did we already tell him Ryan Holiday sent me out a bunch of books?
Yeah.
Did we do that? Okay. Shout out to Ryan Holiday again. That was super sweet of you. Fucking sent me a bunch of books.
Yeah, hope we can get Ryan Holiday on the podcast. But here, I'm just gonna close my eyes, go up and down this list, and whatever one I stop on, we'll give a book to. Does that sound good? We'll do it twice.
I say we let Jessica pick.
Okay.
Jessica picks. I'm doing a YouTube. We're doing a YouTube video series every week. We're gonna come out with the Sugar Show. Episode 1 will be next Monday. We're gonna do it all the way through fight camp, and then kind of see how it goes. See how the feedback is, and then just continue to really do it kind of throughout fight, or not even in fight camp. Just do that. So she's gonna pick. Let her pick.
Okay. Come here, Jessica.
I put on Instagram looking for a hot intern. I scored.
I found one.
Chuck's nephew.
Chuck's nephew.
Chuck's nephew?
Is that Chuck or Chuck's nephew that one?
Okay, we'll do Chuck's nephew. Pick another one. Everyone's getting my debit card info right now.
You don't spend that 5.
Hale King Johnson.
Chuck's nephew and Hale King Johnson. I'll message you guys on Insta to get your address.
And you guys can pick. I think we have 3 books. We have The Daily Stoicism, Ego is the Enemy, and Obstacle is the Way. And you guys can pick out of those. And then also I wanted to tell them what we did this morning. So yesterday, Monday, I had a super hard strength and conditioning workout in the morning, and then I went and hit mitts with Tim, and it was so I had 2 workouts that were really hard on my body. I woke up this morning, I was super sore, and we went to Brandon Harris.
Yep.
At PFS, right? Yeah. And we did. I told him, like, hey, dude, I'm super sore. I wanted to come in there, and it was an active recovery session. You guys will see it on Monday, the video of what we did. He had us breathing, stretching, and really working on specific things. And I left there feeling better. I didn't leave there like I just got done working out and I was kind of hurting. So shout out to him. That was one of my favorite things I've done. It's because he said stress plus rest equals progress. And if that's not what he said, that's a good one. But he did say stress plus rest equals something. Yeah, okay. And I really, I'm really training smart and hard for this camp. Dealing with an injury that I'm not even really worried about anymore. I'm working with him. It's helping so much. I feel like I'm going to be able to get in the best shape of my life. And I have a badass team with me. Tim, Jessica, Danny, helping me with my fashion, my media stuff, and then Brandon, Crouch, Jarrett. I have just a super good team behind me, not just for this camp, but for, I've had them for a while, so I'm excited to be working with all these guys.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet, especially with that Brandon. Like, you don't find many coaches out there, like, he's super fucking knowledgeable. He's not trying to dip into a bunch of things that he doesn't have knowledge about. Like, he's teaching us how to just, like, really just breathe properly, breathe deep into our stomachs, and really get some, like, good airflow to our whole bodies and get a good, like, active recovery. So we're lucky we found him. And now we have Dr. Andy Galpin. He's going to be helping, like, me figure out the fight camp for Sean and, like, when to get our heart rates spiked to 190, how many times a week, and how to really just perfect it and do this good and not go into this fight beat down. Like, Del Taco, like, he's tough. He's tough as shit, and I bet you he comes in there ready to rumble, but I guarantee his body's going to be beat down bad.
I love how, not very many people, like last time I said I was fighting an Asian named Andre. People were freaking out. You're racist. No, I called him El Taco, and his name's El Teco. It's like, come on, that's too easy. It's like the girl I've been talking to for the last 3 years is straight up from Mexico. Her first language is Spanish. So if you're Mexican out there and you think I'm racist, I'm not. I'm funny.
Yeah.
El Taco, El Teco. It's too easy. Come on.
Yeah, that's that. So we got wrestling in a little bit. Who are you going to try to partner up with?
I'm gonna try to partner up with Mario Batista. He's an up and coming fighter. I think he's 5-0. He's a badass. I've literally pretty much every professional fight I've had, he's been one of my main sparring partners. He's gonna be a perfect look for my next opponent. I trust him. I'm gonna try to partner up with him today. Or I usually on these days I like to partner up with Tenquinho too. It's just like there's no better feel than that when we're doing jiu-jitsu, and it's just like he does everything right, which forces me to do right things, and I'm so lucky to be able to train with these guys, and like that's a huge benefit, and like where I'm at today is a lot of it's to do with the people I surrounded myself with and the people I train with. So I wouldn't be here without the people I'm training with, and you and all these guys around me. So I'm super lucky to be in the position I'm in.
For sure. And like someone said, like if you want to see where you're gonna be at 10 years, like take a look at your friends and take a look at the people you surround yourself with. That's why I love Phoenix too, because we're surrounded with like masters in all these different areas and super humble people and guys that aren't bullshit artists. Like, and there's a lot of bullshit artists out there. I used to live in Portland, and this guy, like, I don't want to say his name, but told us he was an Olympic strength and conditioning coach. He was this, he was that, and everyone like was buying it. Everyone bought into it. Turns out he was fucking lying to everyone, and the whole team fell apart. Or even growing up, being raised as Jehovah's Witness, saying, this is the truth, this is the truth. If you have any other thoughts that go into your mind, that's Satan talking. So if you think, like, negatively about this religion at all, or if you talk negatively about it, that's Satan. And Satan's going to try to sway you away from the truth. Like, so anything I learn or any people I'm learning from, I'm just like, I feel like I have a good monitor of if they're bullshit or not, or if they're trying to fool us. And it seems like in the big city, there's a lot more of those people, but the little crew we're surrounded with that we've hand chosen are very fucking smart. And we can learn so much from all of them.
Yeah, I love it. It's cliche. You are who you surround yourself with, but it's so true. It's like, where do you want to put your energy? What do you want to put your energy into? Like, there's so much. Anything you do, you're putting energy into it. And is it benefiting you? Is it helping you get to where you want to go, or is it keeping you the same or making you worse? And so you be very conscious of where you put your energy into.
Yeah, I loved learning that, dude.
You only have so much energy, and we have so much we got to do in a day. We got to train twice. We got the podcast that we'd love to do. We want to put our energy into this. This is something we enjoy doing, and it's something we love putting our energy into this kind of stuff. And like Tim and I, we don't go out. We don't really party. We're not wasting our energy into something that's not benefiting us. Like, we get good sleep every night so we can put that energy into stuff that we want to put our energy into.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck, I think that was a good episode. Episode 6. That's a wrap.
Who won again? Uncle Chuck, or Chuck's uncle.
Chuck's nephew, and
Oh yeah, Uncle Chuck. He's good, dude.
Chuck's nephew, and then we got it. I'll message you guys on Instagram, and we'll get it sent out. All right, see you next week.
Doses.
Peace.